Your 6-year-old hurls puzzle pieces across the room screaming, "I'm stupid! I can't do anything right!" Where did those words come from? The phrase that just crushed your child's confidence sounded like love when you said it. Today, I'm sharing 7 phrases you probably said this week that sound encouraging but quietly program self-doubt, fear of failure, and validation dependency. Let me show you what to say instead. We parent with the best intentions. We say, "You're so smart," or "Good job," thinking we're building confidence. But here's what's happening in your child's developing brain. When you say, "You're so smart," their neural pathways wire the message, "My worth depends on being naturally gifted." When things get hard, that brain whispers, "If I struggle, I must not be smart anymore." When you constantly say, "Good job," their nervous system learns to seek external approval for every action. They stop developing internal judgment for what feels satisfying. When you rescue them with, "Here, let me do it," their brain codes, "I can't handle challenging things without an adult." This is why encouraging words sometimes backfire. Your child melts down over homework, quits when activities get difficult, constantly asks, "Is this good?" Instead of trusting their judgment. You're not a bad parent. You're using the script handed to you. Most of us learn to motivate through pressure and praise because that's what we experienced. But here's what's beautiful about developing brains. They're designed to rewire. New language patterns can override old ones. Your child's sense of identity, relationship with challenge, inner voice, it's all still forming. The words you choose today write the script your child carries into adulthood. The good news? You don't need therapy or complete overhaul. You need 7 simple phrase swaps that build unshakable confidence from the inside out. What if instead of programming self-doubt, your words could wire resilience? What if your child faced challenges thinking, "I haven't figured this out yet," instead of, "I'm not good at this"? This is brain science. Research on growth mindset shows children who believe abilities develop through effort become more resilient and successful than kids who believe intelligence is fixed. Neuroplasticity, your child's brain's ability to form new connections, means small language changes create big neural shifts. Quick example, Sarah used to rescue her 8-year-old from difficult homework. "Here, let me show you the fast way." Her daughter learned to give up at first struggle. 3 weeks after switching to, "You start, I'll help if you get stuck," her daughter stayed with challenging problems longer, saying, "This is hard, but I'm figuring it out." Same child, same homework, different script. Today, I'm giving you 7 specific swaps. The first phrase is one most parents say multiple times daily. By the end, you'll know exactly what to say instead. Phrase number 1, "You're so smart." Your child finishes homework quickly. "You're so smart," you say with love. But their brain learns, "I'm valuable when I'm naturally brilliant." Next week, with a challenging math problem, 30 seconds in, they throw down the pencil, "I'm not smart anymore." This is the fixed mindset trap. Praising smart teaches intelligence is something you either have or don't. Struggle becomes evidence of inadequacy. What to say instead? "I noticed how you kept trying different approaches until one worked." Or, "You didn't give up when it got tricky. That's how your brain gets stronger." This is process praise. You're highlighting effort, strategy, persistence, things they control and can develop. Same quick homework, but now their brain learns, "I'm valuable for how I approach challenges." Next week, with that hard problem, their inner voice says, "This is challenging my brain. Let me try another way." Phrase number 2, "This is so easy for you." Your child reads smoothly. Reading comes so easily to you. But their brain files, "Things should be easy for me. If something requires effort, I'm doing it wrong." The easy label sets up struggle as abnormal. When they hit their learning edge, They interpret difficulty as evidence they've lost ability. What to say instead? I love watching you sound out tricky words and figure out meaning. Or, your brain builds new connections when you practice challenging parts. You're normalizing struggle as learning. Same smooth reading, but now they learn, challenge is how I grow. When they hit that harder book, instead of shutting down, this is harder than usual, good workout for my brain. Phrase number 3, you're just not a math, art, sports person. Your child struggles with multiplication. Don't worry, you're just not a math person like your sister. Their brain hears, this learning area is permanently off limits. Fixed identity statements create invisible walls. They stop putting effort into these areas. But neuroscience tells us brains are designed to grow. Neural pathways strengthen with practice. There's no math brain versus not math brain, just brains that have practiced more or less. What to say instead? You haven't figured out your math strategy yet. Let's find what works for your brain. Notice yet. That word changes everything. Shifts from permanent limitation to temporary status. Same struggling child, but now their brain learns, I'm not good at this yet. I can grow in any area with practice. Phrase number 4, here, let me do it. Your child struggles with their backpack zipper. You're late. Here, let me just do it. Their brain gets, I can't handle normal tasks independently. Adults will rescue me. Every rescue interrupts their brain's natural mastery experiences, moments when they work through difficulty and emerge successful. Without these, their nervous system never learns, I can handle challenging things. This creates learned helplessness. What to say instead? You start, I'll help if you get stuck. Or, what part feels tricky? Let's work on just that piece. This is scaffolded support, help that preserves their agency. Same zipper, but now, I see you working on that. Show me what you've tried. They keep working, might ask help with the stuck part. Their brain learns, I can handle things. I can ask for help when needed, but I'm basically capable. Phrase number 5, be careful, you'll fall. Your child approaches monkey bars. Be careful, you'll fall. Their nervous system receives, this world is dangerous, my body isn't reliable, I should be afraid. Fear language trains children to see environment as threatening rather than navigable. Their brain wires anxiety around normal risk-taking. What to say instead? Hold tight with both hands. That's how you stay secure. Or, check your footing before reaching for the next rung. You're shifting from fear messaging to skill coaching. Teaching how to be safe rather than installing fear about being unsafe. Same monkey bars, but now, use your strong grip and take your time. You know how to be safe. They climb with confidence, listening to their body, making adjustments based on capability rather than fear. Phrase number 6, good job, on repeat. Your child puts away toys. Good job. When good job becomes your go-to for everything, something concerning happens. They become addicted to external evaluation. Their question shifts from, how do I feel about what I did, to, what does the adult think? This creates approval addiction. They perform for praise rather than acting from satisfaction or values. What to say instead? You put every toy back in its place. Your room looks so organized. Or, I noticed you helped your sister when she was upset. This is descriptive encouragement. You're noticing specific actions rather than giving generic evaluation. Same cleanup, but instead of good job, you say, I see all the blocks in the bin and books on the shelf. Everything has its place. They look around with satisfaction. Their brain learns, I can see my own impact. I don't need someone else to tell me if what I did was worthwhile. Phrase number 7. Why can't you be more like? Your child refuses to share while their cousin shares beautifully. Why can't you be more like Emma? Their brain receives, who I am naturally is fundamentally flawed. I'm only acceptable when I match someone else's behavior. Comparison doesn't motivate, it shames. It teaches worth depends on being better than others rather than being authentically themselves. What to say instead? Yesterday you threw toys when upset. Today you used words. That's growth. Or, remember when sharing felt really hard? Look how you offered half your sandwich last week. You're comparing them to their own previous self. Same sharing struggle, but later, sharing is still hard for you. And that's okay. You're 7. I noticed last week you shared your crayons without being asked. You're growing. They feel seen for who they are, not judged for who they're not. So what happens when you make these swaps? In 2 weeks, fewer daily meltdowns. Instead of, I can't do this, your child says, this is hard. Instead of giving up, they try again. After 2 months, homework looks different. Your child tackles challenging problems without immediately seeking help. On the playground, they take appropriate risks while staying attuned to their body. With siblings, they focus on their own growth rather than competing. 6 months from now, your child's inner voice has shifted. Instead of, I'm stupid when I make mistakes, they think, mistakes help my brain grow. Instead of, I need someone to tell me if this is good, they think, I can see my own progress. Picture this scene. Your child brings home a test with a B-. In the old pattern, they'd hide it or have a meltdown. In the new pattern, this test was really hard, but I'm proud I kept trying on the word problems. Can you help me understand this part I missed? You respond, I can see you worked through challenging problems. Your persistence is developing. Let's look at this together. You're changing their inner world. You might think, when my kid is melting down at 7 a.m. and we're late, I don't have time for perfect responses. I get it. Perfect phrasing isn't the goal. Small shifts are. Start with adding yet to ability statements or I see you working hard instead of good job. Your muscle memory builds over time. You might worry, if I stop being tough, my child will become lazy. Growth mindset language actually builds stronger resilience than pressure-based motivation. Kind language doesn't mean no boundaries. It means boundaries with dignity rather than shame. Children who feel safe to struggle work harder because they're not managing fear of failure. Maybe you're feeling guilt, wondering if years of wrong phrases created lasting damage. Children's brains are incredibly adaptable. New patterns override old ones with consistent practice. The moment you start new patterns, you're modeling growth mindset in action. Children often respond to new language within weeks because they're naturally wired for growth. Here's what I want you to try in the next 24 hours. Pick one phrase from today's list you recognize saying. Just one. Notice when it wants to come out, and try the alternative instead. Don't aim for perfection, aim for awareness. Your child's inner voice is learning its lines from you right now. Every conversation writes the script they'll carry into adulthood. Let's make sure it's a kind one. Remember that child who threw puzzle pieces saying, I'm stupid? In homes where parents made these swaps, those moments sound different. This is really hard, but I haven't figured it out yet. That's the power of changing 7 phrases. You're changing their inner world. Drop a comment and tell me which phrase you're retiring first. You're not just a parent, you're an inner voice architect. Build something beautiful.